Hey guys, Mr. Place here, coming to you live with another demo, this time on blending options or overlays. Okay, so what we're going to do today is we're going to turn some normal security footage, well, not security footage, but we're going to use some blending options, and we're going to apply some things that we got from YouTube right here. So if you look at this right here, we've got a security cam footage. So the problem is it's pretty grainy and it's black. Okay, so what we have to do is we have to do something to screen this and use a blend mode to make this part of our video. So how do we do that? Okay, um, these things that you get from the internet, for example, this one right here, recording, okay, or this one right here, they're all available on YouTube. Okay, so I've got a couple right here, and you can even get other ones too if you want. Let me just see if I have VHS grain. So anything like this, if you want to make something a little vintage, some of your movies and that, you can drop that over top of your normal footage, and then we blend it, okay, in our blending mode, or we do something called overlays. Okay, so let's build this right now. I've got this footage right here, and this is Mr. Place walking up the stairs. Turn the volume down. And what I've done is I've grabbed this from YouTube. It's a camcorder, grainy. Here we go. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this and I'm going to drag this. This is a big clip here. So I'm just going to drop it on top here. If I want, you can always use the razor tool to cut it and get rid of the other areas if you don't need it. Okay, so here's what it looks like right now. Okay, and again, we can drop this down just to the top layer right here, just right on top of it. We might put something else on there. So again, right now when I play it, whatever is on top wins. So you can't see through this, it's opaque. So how do we do this? Well, what we're going to do is we're going to select, so make sure that your grainy security camera footage is selected. So when you select it, it turns white, obviously. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go up here into the effect controls. We talked about this last year, some of you. And what we want to do is, and if you can't find it, just click here on these two arrows. And what we want to do is make sure that we click on this, and look, we have all these different things that pop open, video motion, rotation. Here's opacity right here. And when we look at opacity, there's something here called blend mode. So remember, in Photoshop, you can do this. You can drop this down and look at all these different choices. Okay, so if I hit dissolve, nothing really happens. Let's go down and hit darken. So you can see up here that it's blending, but not in the way we want it. I'm going to save us some time, and I'm going to go down to either lighten or screen. So this one is usually the one we use, screen, and watch what happens. So now it's got rid of all the black parts of it, the opaque parts, and it's kept just the footage we want, and it's on top. Okay, so that's what it looks like now. Okay, so what we want to do, this is way too high quality for a security camera. What we want to do is sell this as a security camera footage. So there's a couple of things we can do. I'm going to go back into, let's see if I can find some grain. Okay, let's double click on this and see this. This might work or it might not. No, that one's not good. Okay, so you can go and get grain from the internet. Here's some right here. This is the one I wanted, I'm sorry. So what I'm going to do again is I'm going to grab this and drop it on top. Okay, trim this. There we go. Again, this is not 1920 by 1080, but that's the effect we want. We want this to be kind of vintage, so old school. So I'm just going to quickly grab this. Let's go to 50% so I can see the outside of it. And we're just going to scale it up like that. Okay, go back to fit. And again, we select our VHS. We go over to effect controls. We go to opacity blend mode, and let's try screen now. Okay. So that might be a little bit too much. We can also turn the opacity down. So it's at 0 here, 100 here. Let's go down to, I don't know, 43. Okay, so looking good. Now, what else can we do? Well, we're going to make this black and white. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this security footage. I'm going to go to effects. We're going to go to color. Okay, we're going to remove that color. So when you first open up this, you're going to see in the drop-down box, you're going to see basic correction. So when we click on that, there's a whole bunch of things we can do to change the properties of the temperature, the tint. But what first thing that we want to do is grab the saturation. Okay, and if we bring the saturation all the way down, we've got it black and white now. So now you want to start playing around with these right here, contrast, exposure, and you want to turn it into degrade the quality a little bit. So I'm making things a little bit darker, and it's starting to look really good. Okay, so look at that. That would be acceptable for our video that we're doing. The last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add some grain and noise to it. So this is an effect. So I'm going to select me. So that's this footage right here, the original clip. And I'm going to go to effects. And what I want to do is I'm going to look for a noise effect. So let me get rid of this. There's a couple of things we can do. We know that we can type in noise and it'll show us the effect, or we can just go into video effects and just kind of go through here, and we see noise and grain. So there's the noise right there. We're going to grab this and we're going to drop it right here. How do we change the properties? Well, again, we have to go to the effects control. So we select here, and let's go back to editing. So one more time, select here, and we scroll down and we see the noise. So right now it's at 0. Let's turn it up a bit. Okay, that's probably a little too much. Let's bring it down. Now that is selling. This really looks like a good security camera footage. Anyway, so this project right here is called overlays, and you can do anything you want with overlays. There's anything you can get on the internet, and sometimes you just type in security camera overlay or security camera blending mode, and you'll find all these clips right here, anything you want. So that's the keyword, is overlays. Anyways, if I just want this piece to export, I'm going to hit I right here, go to the end, hit O, and then when I export this, file, export, media, H.264, click on the blue right here, output name. What are we going to call it? Well, depends what you're using it for, but for our project, we're going to save it into our master folder. And let's see, video overlays. And what are we going to call it? Well, it's obvious. Your name, VP 30S S1 2021, or whatever it is. And you're going to call it overlays. Or overlay. There we go. We save it and export right here. And that will export our project into a nice MP4. Excellent. So this is your project. It's called Overlays. All you have to do is send me an example of it, and you can use the footage I have from the internet, or come up with your own. Anyways, hope you enjoyed this demo. Place out. See you soon.